find convincing. And I think, I mean, there are other school board members who did win that I was surprised by. So, I think it's a possibility that we should all have awareness for, and making sure that we don't give her any community-based traction.
Sharon?
Yes, it will definitely depend on who gets behind her, and what groups, take her under their wing, because we saw what happened with this school board election. So yeah, and again, that's the other thing. We have to come up with candidates that can run against these people and back them and support them. And it can't wait till 3 months before the election. It has to start now. It has to be those people like she is now, making a name for herself already. We have to identify and find those people and start prepping them for what's coming up.
Well, and it's hard. Like, I try to go to everything she goes to keep an eye on her. She was one who alerted me to the availability of the curriculum advisory committee. I was so appreciative of that because, she put out a call on her social media, so I was able to apply. I love that.
Nice, yeah.
But
she got you, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that was the intention.
Yeah.
Debbie, I think. Oh, sorry. I was just going to get to Debbie has a question. I just want to make sure we get to you.
Well, thank you. I just want full disclosure. I am a school board member. So
thanks for coming, Debbie.
I'm sitting here listening to all
You're
this.
brave, Debbie. We love you.
Thanks, Maddie. Dr. Bernier is very smart when it comes to that. So when it comes to bringing in both sides, he absolutely will do that because it's better to keep your enemies close. So we always want to make sure to bring in all of those different opinions. So that way, and as far as her having total access to him, I absolutely know that does not happen. That will not happen. He does not do that. And they have to go through his secretary, which is very rough to get through to him. Because of the fact that his time, she has his whole day planned out completely. But I know exactly the person that you're speaking on. And so, yeah, she makes herself very much known. But I just wanted to share that information.
Thanks, Debbie. I really appreciate it. I guess Laura Wolf, turning back once more on the Sanibel school level, you talked a little bit about how how it's was impacting your ability to teach there and is continuing to impact the teachers there. What about this family pressure, community pressure? Did you feel pressure? I mean, besides Laura and I calling you about masking,
Well, it was a really fine line because I couldn't win either way. I kept my kiddos home because they weren't vaccinated yet, and yet I came to school, and that person that we're talking about sent me a very long email about me not coercing her child to wear a mask, and I couldn't win, she was very active in the classroom, and I got lots of emails from her. And we weren't at school long enough for me to see because we came back a little bit after the hurricane. So I'm not sure what middle school looks like as far as curriculum and how far what they're teaching now because my kiddos weren't there.
Yeah, I think one thing that I learned is that you do need to kind of keep an eye. I mean, as a working parent, I historically had not been super involved, quite frankly, in my child's school. We came from Chicago. They went to, and then, my son came home and said that they were passing out like toys with Bible scriptures at school. And we are not Christian. And he had, there were two boys that were friends of his who were Jewish and got very upset about this. And I was like, I have to do something. Like, I had to reach out to the principal. She looked into it. She talked to the group to not hand that out to all the kids. And, but you have to, I was stunned that I had to say something so that Bibles weren't being passed out to the students at the school. So I don't know, that it was a new experience for me. It was like you're not in downtown Chicago anymore, Tiffany experience. So now as we move into, another theme that really everybody was asking about is what can I do? How can I be involved? And let me first say, like, as a parent, thank you for being involved, because especially we saw, PCI's involvement on the Sanibel Library. And, as someone whose kids are checking out books from the children's section, it meant the world to our family that so many of you showed up and spoke and said something and really made a difference. So it really makes a difference. So going to kind of ask the panel, what are your wish lists? Like, what would you need help with? What should people be doing? How can people help?
Well, and I think Sharon and Maddie can talk to like the district level and the state level, and then I'll talk to like the hyper local level.
So Sharon, let's start high and then we'll work our way. We'll start district and work our way low to the micro level.
Apply to be on a committee, whether it's the curriculum committee, the equity and diversity committee, which is very important. Both of those have a lot to do with what's going on as far as directly impacting the children, I think, in the district. Then you've also got the finance committee and the construction, and they're always looking for people who have any kind of a background in those areas, the technical backgrounds, banking, construction, anything that would relate to those areas. But definitely the curriculum and the equity committees are really important. Just because the board appoints people who are on these committees, they each get, the chair of the board gets 3 choices, and the board members get 2. So you can see how these committees can be stacked with a lot of people who have very, very conservative Christian evangelical viewpoints. And that's why we really need to make sure that there's representation on those committees. And those committees are appointed in August. Debbie, correct me if I'm wrong, in August, unless someone, when their term is up, unless someone drops out during the year. But like on the curriculum committee, I just found out there's going to be 3 open positions.
Yeah, they'll start advertising for that next month, actually, on the website for anybody to go in and apply. But you are correct in what the numbers that you're speaking on as far as how they are chosen.
Right.
That's correct.
And it's really important to have the representation, because with basically only Debbie on the board and her